Hi everyone, so in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to crochet this really pretty lace baby bonnet which has the flower on the back and then it has this cute lace detailing and then the shells which go around the front. So this bonnet can be made in a number of different sizes, and for all of the information on how to make the different sizes, please see the description box below. So thank you very much for watching, and please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more crochet videos. And when you subscribe, make sure that you click the little bell button next to the subscribe button so that you receive a notification when I upload a new tutorial. So you want to start off by making a magic circle. So to do a magic circle, take your yarn and take your finger and wrap the yarn around your finger once. And you then want to wrap the yarn back over your finger to create a cross, like that. You then want to take your crochet hook and go underneath the first loop of the cross, and then using your crochet hook, pick up the second loop of the cross and pull it through. And you can then take your finger out, and there you have a magic circle, and we are ready to begin round one. So to begin round one, you want to chain one, and this chain one does not count as a stitch. This just locks our magic circle into place. So we're now going to start off by working one double crochet into the magic circle. So you want to yarn over and go down into the magic circle, then yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through two loops, and then yarn over and pull through the final two loops on your hook. So there we have one double crochet into the magic circle, and now you want to chain one. And we're going to work that 7 more times, or 8 times in total for round one. So we're going to do double crochet and then chain one 8 times in total for this round. So you want to yarn over, go back down into the magic circle and work a double crochet, and then chain one, and now do that again, double crochet, chain one, and keep doing that until you have done that 8 times in total. So like that. So I have done that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. And now to finish off round one, we need to close up our magic circle and join. So to close up the magic circle, you want to take this end or this tail here and simply pull this nice and tight. So pull it as tight as you can, and that will close up the magic circle. And then to join, we are going to work a slip stitch into the first double crochet that we worked. So here is the first double crochet, and if you're not sure which stitch to go into, then you can count back 16 stitches. So you'll count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way around to 16, and that will take you to the stitch that you need to work a slip stitch into. So you want to go down into this stitch and yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. So work a slip stitch. And there we have finished round one, and at the end of that round you should have 16 stitches, and that includes the little chain ones that we worked. And now we can move on to round two. So to begin round two, you want to chain one and turn, and this chain one does not count as a stitch. So we are going to start off by going down into this first chain one space here. So this was the chain one space that we worked right at the end of round one. And we are going to work 2 treble crochets together into this stitch. So to do 2 treble crochets together, you want to yarn over twice. So we're going to yarn over once and then twice. and then you want to go down into this chain 1 space. So this is the chain 1 space right at the start here, the last one that we worked at the end of round 1. Go down into this space, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 more loops. So there we have started 1 treble crochet. So usually we would yarn over and pull through these 2 loops to complete the stitch, but we're not going to do that. We're going to move on to the next one. So you want to yarn over twice, so once and twice, go back down into that same space, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 more loops. So there we have started a second treble crochet, and you should now have 3 loops on your hook, and we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops to complete the stitch. And there we have worked 2 treble crochets together into that chain space. And now we are going to chain 2. So you want to chain 1 and 2. And we are going to do another set of 2 treble crochets together into that same space, so into that same chain 1 space. So you want to yarn over twice, go down into the same space that we were working into, and start a treble crochet. But you do not want to complete this one and move on to the next one. Yarn over twice, go back down into the same space, and start a second treble crochet, but do not complete this one either. So you should have 3 loops on your hook and yarn over and pull through all 3 like that. So there we have done 2 treble crochets together, chain 2, 2 treble crochets together, all into that chain 1 space, and we're going to keep repeating that all the way around. So into every chain 1 space from round 1, so here, 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 we are going to do this set of stitches. So you want to yarn over twice and go down into the next chain 1 space here. So don't go into the double crochet, go into the next chain 1 space and do 2 treble crochets together. Like that. And now you want to chain 2 and do 2 treble crochets together again, back down into that same chain 1 space. And now we're going to do that same thing into the next chain 1 space here. So 2 treble crochets together, chain 2, 2 treble crochets together, all into the same space. And we're just going to keep repeating that all the way around. You want to work that set of stitches into every single chain 1 space. So I have finished working that all the way around for round 2, and you should have found that you did that set of stitches 8 times. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sets of those stitches. and you want to finish off by working a slip stitch into your first set of 2 treble crochets together. So here we have that stitch, and you can kind of tell it's a longer stitch, and you want to go into that stitch there and work a slip stitch. So there we have finished round 2, and we can move on to round 3. So to begin round 3, we're going to start off by working a slip stitch into the first chain 2 space here. So we finished off round 2 by working a slip stitch into this stitch here, and we're going to start off round 3 by working a slip stitch into this first chain 2 space. So we're not turning our work, you want to go straight into this chain 2 space from last round and yarn over and work a slip stitch. And make sure that you don't work that slip stitch too tight, as you don't want this to bunch up. And that just takes us to our first chain 2 space, which is where we need to be to begin round 3. And now you can chain 1, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So for round 3, we are going to be working into the chain 2 spaces from last round. So into this space, and this space, and this space, and this space. And in each one of these spaces, we are going to do double crochet and then chain 1 4 times into each space. So you want to yarn over and go down into this first space here that you just worked a slip stitch into, and do 1 double crochet, and then you want to chain 1, and then you want to do that a second time into the same space, double crochet, chain 1, and then do that for a third time, double crochet, chain 1, and then a fourth time into that same chain 2 space there, double crochet, chain 1. And now we're going to do that exact same thing into this next chain 2 space here. So make sure you're not going into this space or this stitch, go into the next chain 2 space, yarn over, go into this space and do double crochet, chain 1 4 times. So like that, and just keep repeating that all the way around for round 3. 4 double crochets with chains in between them into each chain 2 space. So I have finished working that all the way around for round 3, and at the end of that round you should have 64 stitches, and that includes all of those little chain 1s. And we're going to finish off this round by working a slip stitch into the first double crochet that we worked. So here is our first double crochet, and you want to go into this stitch and work a slip stitch. So there we have finished round 3, and you can see we have this little flower now which is going to go at the back of our bonnet, and now we can move on to round 4. So to begin round 4 you want to chain 1, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch, and we're not going to be turning, so just chain 1. And in this round we are going to work single crochets and double crochets all the way around. So you want to start off by going down into this first stitch here, so this first double crochet, and you want to work a single crochet into this stitch. So to do a single crochet, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, and yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. So work 1 single crochet into that first double crochet, and now we're going to go into the chain 1 space, so the next chain 1 space, and we're going to work a double crochet into this stitch. So yarn over, go down into the chain 1 space and work a double crochet. And now we're going to go into the next double crochet here and work 1 single crochet into this stitch. And then you want to go into the chain 1 space right after that double crochet and work 1 double crochet. And we're just going to keep repeating this all the way around for round 4. We're going to be working single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet all the way around for this round. And you should find that you're working your single crochets into the double crochets from last round, and that you're working the double crochets into the chain 1 spaces from last round. So I'm going to do a single crochet into this next double crochet, and then a double crochet into this next chain 1 space, then a single crochet into the next double crochet, and then a double crochet into this next chain 1 space here, then single crochet, and then double into the chain space, and just keep repeating this for round 4. So I'm just coming to the end of round 4, so I have finished off by working a double crochet down into that last space there. So it's really important that you finish off with a double crochet, and at the end of that round you should have 64 stitches, and I would recommend just going back and double checking that you do have 64, and if you do, you want to finish off with a slip stitch into the first single crochet that you worked. And now we can move on to round 5. So to begin this round, you want to chain 1, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch, and we're not turning, we're just chaining 1. And we are going to start off by working a double crochet down into this first stitch. So yarn over and go down into the first stitch and work 1 double crochet. And now you want to chain 3. So we're going to chain 1, 2 and 3. And then we're going to do a double crochet into the next stitch. So yarn over, go into this next stitch and do 1 double crochet. And now we're going to skip the next 2 stitches. So skip 1 and 2. And we're going to repeat that all the way around for round 5. You want to do a double crochet into the next stitch. So remember, we're skipping these 2 and then go into the next one and do 1 double crochet. Then chain 3 and do a double crochet into the next stitch, and then skip 2 stitches, skip 1 and 2, and just keep repeating that all the way around. Double crochet into 1 stitch, chain 3, double crochet into the next stitch, and then skip 2 stitches. So I'm just coming to the end of round 5, and at the end of that round you should have 80 stitches, and that includes those chains, or you should have 16 of these V's. And now we can finish off this round by working a slip stitch into the first double crochet that we worked. So there we have finished round 5, and we're ready to move on to round 6. So to begin this round, we are going to work a slip stitch into the chain 3 space here. So into the first chain 3 space from last round. So you want to go into this chain 3 space, the first one from round 5, and work a slip stitch. And this is going to take us to the chain 3 space here. So into the middle of this space, which is where we need to be to begin round 6. And now you want to chain 1, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So in this round, we are going to be working into the chain 3 spaces from last round. So here and here and here and here and so on. and into each space we're going to do 2 treble crochets together and then chain 3 and then 2 more treble crochets together into each space. So it's very, very similar to what we did down here, but down here we did 2 treble crochets together, chain 2 treble crochets together, and in this round we are going to be doing chain 3s in the middle instead of chain 2. So you want to do 2 treble crochets together into this first space here, so the one that we just worked a slip stitch into, like that. So we have 2 treble crochets together, and now you want to chain 3 and then do 2 treble crochets together again into the same space. Like that. And now we're going to do the same thing into this next chain space here. So go into the next chain 3 space and do 2 treble crochets together. So we're doing the exact same thing as we just did into this next chain 3 space. And you just want to keep repeating that all the way around for round 6. So I'm just coming to the end of round 6 and I have one last chain space to work into. So I have done 2 treble crochets together, chain 3, 2 treble crochets together into this chain space, and I have one last chain space, one last chain 3 to work into. But we are not going to work that last set. So we are not going to work into that last chain space. We're going to stop here and move on to round 7. So you should find that you have worked that 15 times. So we have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 sets of those stitches in total. And if you have, then we have come to the end of round 6 and we can move on to round 7. So we are not working into this last chain 3 at the end. So this is what it should look like. So we have this little space which isn't worked into, and this is going to go at the bottom or the base of the bonnet, at the bottom of the head. And now we're going to be working along the sides here, and this is going to go around the side of the head. So now we can move on to round 7. And to begin this round, you want to chain 1 and turn. So chain 1 and turn, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So we are going to work a double crochet into this first stitch here. So yarn over, go down into this first stitch. So this was our last set of 2 treble crochets together, and work 1 double crochet. And now we're going to go into the chain 3 space, and we are going to work double crochet, chain 3, double crochet all into this space. So yarn over, go down into the chain 3 space and do 1 double crochet, then chain 3, and then work a second double crochet into that same space, so like that. And now we're going to yarn over and go into this next chain 3 space here. So skip on to the next chain 3 space, don't work into these stitches, go into the next space, and we're going to do double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into this space, and then we're going to do the same thing into the next chain 3 space here, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. And you just want to keep repeating that all the way along for round 7 into every single chain 3 space. So here, 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 and so on. You want to do double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. So I have finished working that all the way along for round 7. So I have done double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into that last chain space at the end. And now to finish off this round, you want to work a double crochet into the last stitch at the end of the round. So here we have this last stitch at the end, and you want to do a double crochet into this one, like that. So into that last set of 2 treble crochets together, and there we have finished round 7. And at the end of that round you should have 77 stitches, and that includes the chains that we worked. And now we can move on to round 8, and this is a nice easy round. So you want to chain 1 and turn, and that chain 1 does not count as a stitch. And we are going to do 1 double crochet down into this first stitch here, so that last double crochet that you just worked at the end of round 7. And now for this round we are just going to do 5 double crochets into each chain 3 space. So you want to yarn over and go straight into this first chain 3 space here and work 5 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, like that. And now you want to move on to the next chain 3 space here. So don't work into the stitches, go straight into the space and do 5 double crochets into this one as well. Like that, and just keep repeating that all the way along for round 8. 5 double crochets into each chain 3 space. So I'm coming to the end of round 8, so I've done 5 double crochets into that last chain space, and now we're going to finish off with 1 double crochet into the last stitch at the end to get a nice neat edge. And now we can move on to round 9, and at the end of that round you should have had 77 double crochets. So to begin round 9, you want to chain 1 and turn, and as usual this does not count as a stitch. So we're going to start off by working 1 double crochet down into this first stitch here. So do 1 double crochet into this first stitch at the end. And now you want to skip the next 2 stitches. So we're going to skip 1 and 2, and then into the next stitch we're going to work double crochet, chain 3, and then double crochet all into that stitch. So we have skipped 2 stitches, and now into this next one you want to do double crochet, double crochet, and then chain 3, and then double crochet into that same stitch, like that. And now you want to skip the next 2 stitches, so skip 1 and 2. And now we're going to skip 2 more stitches, so skip 1 and 2, and then into this next stitch here we're going to do double crochet, chain 3, double crochet again. So yarn over, go into this stitch and do double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, And now skip 2 more stitches, 1 and 2. And you want to keep repeating that all the way along for round 9. You want to skip 1 and 2 stitches, do double crochet, chain 3, double crochet all into the next stitch, and then skip 2 more stitches. And then repeat that again, skip 2 stitches, do double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into the next stitch, and then skip 2 more stitches. So you should find that you have 4 stitches skipped in between your little V's. So repeat that all the way along. So I have come to the end of round 9, so I have done my last set of double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, and then I have skipped these last 2 stitches at the end, and then you want to finish off round 9 with a double crochet into the last stitch at the end. And at the end of that round you should still have 77 stitches, and that includes all those little chains. And now we can move on to round 10. So to begin this round you want to chain 1 and turn, and round 10 is very similar to round 6, it's just that we have a double crochet at the start and finish. So you want to start off by working 1 double crochet into the first stitch of the round. And then what we're going to do is just in round 6, we're going to do 2 treble crochets together, chain 3, and then 2 treble crochets together into each chain 3 space from last round. So you want to do 2 treble crochets together into this first chain 3 space here. So yarn over twice and go into the chain 3 space and do 2 treble crochets together, just as we have done lots of times before. And now chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then do another set of 2 treble crochets together into that same space. Like that. And now you just want to keep repeating that all the way along. So we're going to yarn over twice, go into the next chain 3 space here and do the same thing. 2 treble crochets together, chain 3, 2 treble crochets together. And just keep repeating that all the way along. I have finished working that all the way along for round 10, and I finished off by working a double crochet into the last stitch at the end. And now we can move on to round 11, and round 11 is the exact same thing as round 7. So I'll just quickly go over that, but if you wanted a more detailed version then you can just go back in the tutorial. So you want to chain 1 and turn and do a double crochet into the first stitch. And then you want to do double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into every single chain 3 space from last round, and then to finish off the round work a double crochet into the last stitch. So I have finished working that all the way along for round 11, which was a repeat of round 7. And now we can move on to round 12, which is the final round of our bonnet. And for round 12, we're just going to do the same thing as round 8. So you can go back in the tutorial and rewatch round 8. or I'll just quickly show you how to do that now. So you want to chain 1 and turn, and that doesn't count as a stitch, and then do 1 double crochet into this last stitch at the end here, and then into each chain 3 space from last round. So here and here and here and here, you want to work 5 double crochets. So 5 double crochets into each space, and then finish off with a double crochet at the end of the round. And then once you have done that, this is what you will have. So this is what you should have. So this is the exact same bonnet, it's the exact same pattern. And you can see I have finished off round 12. So we're just doing the same thing as round 8 all the way along, finishing off with a double crochet at the end. And now if you wanted your bonnet a little bit longer, then you just want to repeat rounds 9, 10, 11 and 12, and you can finish on any of those rounds. It would just mean that you will have a different edging. So I like to finish off with round 12, which is a repeat of round 8, as you have these really pretty shells at the end. But if you wanted yours a little bit longer, you can repeat rounds 9, 10, 11, 12 and still finish off with the shells, or you could just repeat rounds 9 and 10 and then you would still have a pretty edge, it would just be different. So that is what we have once we have finished that last round. And then the last thing that you need to do is add the ties to the bottom and then weave in the ends to the inside. So making the ties is really easy. You just want to make a chain. So do a really nice neat chain, and you can chain however long you want. So you can make your ties to any length, but I usually like to chain somewhere between 60 and 80. So you'll make your chain and then fasten off, tie a knot at the end and weave that end in. And then you'll attach your yarn into the opposite side and make a chain the exact same length. And then the last thing you need to do is weave all of your ends nice and securely into the inside. And then before you weave this one in at the end from the magic circle, you need to make sure that you pull it tight to close that magic circle up. And there we have finished. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it easy to follow. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more crochet videos. And when you subscribe, make sure that you click that little bell button next to the subscribe button so that you receive notifications when I upload a new tutorial. And in the description box below this video, I will leave a link to where you can find the written pattern for this bonnet. And in the description box, I will also leave links to my Instagram and Twitter accounts. So I always like to post updates and pictures on there, especially Instagram, and I would love to see photos of your crochet work on there as well. And thank you again for watching. Bye.